Hi again, we're back with the angelfish pair who just laid a whole bunch of eggs up here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to move those into a breeder box up here. Sorry about that quick movement. But in order to do that, I need to get these plecos out of here because they are just going to eat them. They would think they're a nice tasty little treat. Out. It's just suction cupped in there, it's pretty easy to move. And I'm going to put them into just a Tupperware with a little bit of water in it in the bottom so that they stay healthy on the way down. I've got to go quite a ways into my basement. If you didn't have to do this, you wouldn't even bother with that other than to not make a mess. The male is still there fanning the eggs. But then after I move those guys, I'll bring you back and I will show you putting these eggs that are fertilized, they just finished them up, into the box and putting an air stone to them. Okay, I've made it down into the basement with my Tupperware full of plecos, and we're going to add them into one of these tanks here that has pleco babies in it. Most likely this one. I think this is the one that had the most recent. Now there's a few things going on here as well. There's some fry of plecos. There's some angelfish in there growing out. This is growing out a whole bunch of stuff here too. We got some guppies in there going. But back on task, we're gonna just show you how to add these in. It's real simple. You just take them and flush them out of this thing. With plecos, my water's all the same temperature and hardness, so that I'm not concerned about. With plecos, the biggest problem is they really like to stick in there. They don't like to go anywhere, so you're gonna kind of swish it around a little bit and go pretty quick and add most of the stuff in, and you'll get quite a few of them. Don't worry too much. You can get them out pretty simple by just dunking it under, getting them to move, and then coming back up. I got a couple here that are fighting me. There's a couple albinos there. We'll pour them right out. And there they go. And let me just double check this, make sure I got everybody. And there they are. And they're mixed in with all the rest. You can see the mulmen here, and you can see the green bean flakes and all kinds of snails and sponge filters and heaters. This is in the basement, so I do have to run heaters in here. I got a backup heater. I had problems with inexpensive heaters going bad on me, so I've got two that I run on each of these now. Alright, and we'll go back upstairs and we'll put those angelfish in their new home. Okay, we're back upstairs with the breeding angelfish pair who has a bunch of eggs in here. We've got the breeding box all cleaned out, and we're going to see if we can't knock some of these eggs in there. These angelfish are not going to be pleased about this. They will attack my fingers and bite them a little bit. I will survive, I promise. Alright, I'm going to get that right underneath there and see if I can't do this one-handed. See that? They are not even a little bit amused with what I'm doing. And it's really hard to do one-handed. I'm going to try and prop you up there. Get down in here and see if I can't do some more. They're tearing into me. Be pretty surprised to feel how hard they can actually bite. He's going in there and picking them back up for him. The male's over here busy biting my thumb. Let's see if we can't get a couple more off this other reef back here. Again, they're very unpleased with me at the moment. Alright, and they will go back and pick up the ones I missed and put them back on those leaves because they're good parents. The only reason I'm doing this is because they guard them really well, but as soon as the lights go out, the predators come out and start eating them. And I have a lot of stuff going on in this tank, and there's There's a few on the bottom. I'm not going to even attempt to count them. If you want to pause frame and do it, probably 100 or so. And if even half of those hatch, I would be inundated in more fish than I have the capability to deal with. So we will just take it easy and put them in here. I pull them all the way up out of the water as high as I can in this tank, just leaving a little bit in the bottom, and make sure these guys are stuck there really well. And the reason I do that is because, believe it or not, as many snails and plecos as I have in here, I feed them a lot, but they're very hungry creatures, and they will get in here and have themselves a nice tasty snack later on at night. I've got the hang-on back filter pushing water across here, and when you put an air stone in here, it creates a little bit of flow and helps aerate those eggs and keep them nice and clean. Now, most videos you're going to watch on doing this are going to give you, you have to use methylene blue and all that. That is definitely the better way to do it. This works though. I've done it a few times. I'll get a few more of these eggs turning white on me and getting fungused, but again, I don't need them all to hatch. So we'll come back to this. Hopefully there'll be free swimmers here real shortly. That only takes, I forget the exact time, but you can look all that time frame up online. It's just a couple days and they'll be free swimming. The parents will be over here when they're free swimming, because their eggs that their garden over there will get eaten. And as they're free swimming, the parents will actually swim up to the edges and they kind of interact with them and guard them. It's kind of neat. Alright, well, we'll revisit this experiment and see how it's going. Thanks for watching.